Hello, I'm Jazz and this is Heels Up. In this episode we talked to Olle Collberg, a Telemark legend from Sweden. Olle won his first World Cup just 48 hours after the time of recording, so there's a lot to learn from Olle in this episode. Your first World Cup, was it Bjorli?
Yes.
2010?
Yes.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is now.
And what was your journey into the Swedish national team?
So, yeah, that was my first World Cup. If we go backwards in time from that, I did some Norwegian Cup races earlier that season. If we go way back to my first ever contact with telemark racing, it was in 2005 when I was 12. They had the Open Swedish Championships in Åre, which is about an hour from where I grew up and I lived at the time. So me and my dad went there and joined the races. We did, I can barely remember, I think we did a sprint. And there was also moguls, telemark moguls, and we also had a Chinese downhill from the top of the mountain all the way down.
In Telemark?
In Telemark. I don't think I was allowed to ski the moguls, but that was the first time that I experienced or saw telemark racing. And that was also the only time that I saw it until I later met Mattias Wagenius, who was a really successful Swedish racer back in, I think he raced from 2005 or around there until 2013. And I met him when me and my family were skiing in a small resort called Ramenberget, where we used to go for ski holidays when I was small. And I was skiing telemark, I was 15 or 16, just free skiing for fun. And this guy joined me on the T-bar, just skied up to me and said, "Can I join you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then I noticed he was on telemark skis, and that was Mattias. And we took a few runs, and then he asked me if I wanted to join a training camp the coming weekend. Yeah, in a ski area I'd never been to. So, yeah, I joined the camp. I did some more camps, some Norwegian Cup races and training at home. And then I started on the World Cup.
So because a random guy joined you on a T-bar, you basically had your life changed? I mean, he's not just a random guy, he's a Telemark legend, we should say. But
basically, yeah.
Without him, you wouldn't have been doing
this. I think so. I know that my dad exchanged phone numbers with the coach of the team way back in 2005. Maybe I would have sought that direction either way, but I'm not sure it would have played out this way without him seeing me that day in the slope.
I remember when, I guess we both sort of started at the same time, and you had Lisa England, you and Tias as well, and you were the baby of the team, but now you're the leader.
Yes.
So how has this transitioned?
So I just like that too. I know I'm the old guy of the team now. I was actually called a dinosaur by one of the French girls
nice.
on the last World Cup finals. I'm taking that as a translation error for
dinosaur is
veteran.
A bit harsh.
Yes, I can understand what she meant. I sort of identify myself as still young and new in some ways, maybe because I've had to run the team and ski a lot alone in periods. I haven't always had a team to rely on or to be a part of. But now I'm really realizing that I am now what Mattias was for me, for the juniors of the team now and the new racers. And I really like it. Since me and Karin, we moved to Östersund, where I grew up again last May. And we have trainings 2 or 3 nights a week in the local hill, where the juniors of the team are also staying, and there are other racers and skiers coming there to train with us. And I'm really starting to appreciate the coach and leader role as well. And it gives me a lot back, and sometimes even more than skiing myself now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're also really doing the federation work, the coach work, the team captain work, athlete. You also have other stuff in your life that we'll get to, but you really are doing a lot.
Yeah, I am.
You are, really.
Yes.
And I think as well, you're very well liked in the telemark community and well respected. Everyone has a good word to say about you. And I think you have 182 World Cup starts. Did you know that?
I actually looked into my statistics a few weeks ago to see how close I was to 200.
Yeah, not far.
No, it's not far.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And in Le Contamine, you won your first World Championship medal.
Yeah.
I think I was happier for you than I was for myself. Honestly, I was so happy for you.
Yeah, that was, best day of my skiing career, for sure. I mean, I was so happy for myself, but it was also so touching to see that a lot of people were happy for me. So, that meant so much.
I mean, to me it's no surprise, of course they're happy, but yeah, you did amazing. Just crossing the finish line, tell me about that.
When I crossed the finish line, I was really happy because I know I had a good run. It's always difficult to understand sometimes what the speakers are saying and what position I was in when I finished, but I know that I made a solid run, and I think I heard second place when I crossed the finish line. And I know that I could not have done any better than I did. I mean, a lot of races you feel that, I made that mistake, I should have done that better or different. But that run I couldn't have done anything better than I did. So either way, I was really satisfied. And then when people started to finish after me and, looking at the live timing and seeing how people are ranking when they finish, and I was starting to realize that I might do it. It might work out finally. And when I realized that, I actually finished second, I was like, as long as I'm on the podium, I'm over the moon. I'm so happy. But second place, sharing the podium with Trim as a winner, that was amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, I have goosebumps actually, just remembering.
No, it's impossible to describe, like the whole, I don't think I realized. It only sunk in quite a lot later, actually. But
in the summer, you mean, or
maybe when the season was starting to finish, and I think also when I joined the juniors for the Junior World Champs in Vadonekia, being there as a coach and not racing for myself, just realizing that I actually finally succeeded in one of my main goals. Yeah, I don't know exactly when it sunk in, but there was just a lot of emotion, and
you've given so much to the sport in so many different ways, and as well now we're here in Trillevallen, and you're actually part of the organisation for this World Cup. Yes. So, what are the difficulties with that? How does that work?
So this year, thankfully, I'm not as involved as before. I'm still.
Thankfully.
I mean, last year was really stressful.
The first one.
The first World Cup here. This new organization. Not everybody knows exactly what actually needs to be done and how things could be done. This year, it's been easier for me, but definitely, last year, I only got time to focus on my own racing on the morning of the first race, basically. And this year, so far, I've had a lot to, since I'm working full time, and I haven't had a lot of spare time to work as I did last year. So I worked my last shift on Friday, and since then I've been really working to catch up. But now it feels I'm more relaxed this year about how it's going to go down.
Yeah, they did a great job last year and things are in place. But I remember last year you were quite anxious that it would be good, and it's extra pressure on your shoulders. Yeah,
for sure. Like last year when we raced here, it was more than 10 years after the last time we raced in Sweden. And from the people who were organizing back then, it's that I remember, it's only Sandra, the main organizer, who's part of the same organization as now. And for sure, when you drag people all the way from Europe up to my home or close to my home, it's important for me that people enjoy themselves and that we have good racing. Yeah, it was stressful, a lot of anxiety, but I think it played out really well for a first World Cup in a new venue. It was a lot of...
Very brave of you as well. It's a big risk somewhere.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that we've had in Sweden, or we still do, but is to gain some media time and show people our sport. In one way, or in some ways, it's like kind of a make or break deal. I've been racing since 2010. We were 5 races when I started, then we were 3, and then I was alone, and then just me, 1 or 2 more racers, and then just me again, back and forth, and not really getting anywhere. And with the team growing and making some good results, it felt like now, when the opportunity came, and Sandra asked me, do you think we can make a race in Trillevallen? That was, I think, spring of 24. She called me and can you come here and have a look at the slopes? What can we do? Is it possible? Just give your thoughts. And it felt, I don't want to say rushed, but felt like a really big step to take. So we kind of had a plan to try and make some smaller national races or maybe a Swedish champs race, and then to go from nothing to a World Cup was
It's a lot.
stressful,
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm really happy that we pushed through with it, because it shows that if I'm thinking about how much media attention we've been getting and interest, it's really made a difference. And I hope that we can keep that
momentum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it shows your selflessness. And another thing, I think it was 2 seasons ago now, but there's an athlete working group within Telemark, and Nicola Michel is part of that athlete working group, but he was unfortunately injured for this particular season. So you actually stepped up to the mark on that front and represented all the athletes on race day. If ever there were issues or things that needed to be communicated, you took on that job. You did it very well, actually.
Thank you.
Was it stressful to you, or it seemed like you just took it in your stride, actually?
Yes, it was a bit stressful. Like, it's always stressful to try and fill out someone else's shoes, or to be in a role that you're not used to, but I felt up to the task, and I felt that I had something, or I have enough experience to do the job in a good way. But at the same time, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I feel like when I have something else to focus on, I actually race better. And that was the case here in Trillavallen last year. Like I said, I had a lot to think about and a lot to do before the races, and I think I finished 4th and 5th in the races here last year. And also when I took my World Champ silver, honestly, my preparations for that race were shit. Like, I wasn't expecting to do so well, because I had a big crash the day before. I damaged my skis. I ruined one binding.
Didn't know that.
Actually, yeah, on the parallel before the classic, I had to repair my skis and change bindings. I was a bit beat up as well. that kind of feeling comes back to like that time, and also here last year, and some other times when I have like sort of maybe lower the pressure, or I feel like it's the preparations and the circumstances are not optimal, then I just do my best from that, and sometimes it works out even better than when everything's perfect.
Are you perfectionistic then?
I think yes, in many ways.
You must be. You do so many things. But
I hear that I overdo stuff from people close to me sometimes, and I'm realizing that that is probably almost always the case, or in many cases at least. Maybe overdoing it actually makes it more difficult to perform sometimes.
who would you trust to wax your skis?
Nicola Michel.
Who wouldn't you trust?
Ooh, I should have known that question would be the logical next one. I'm having a hard time to think about.
So you'd let everyone wax your skis?
No, I would not.
Oh heck, you don't have to. You don't have to land anyone in it.
There is someone I'm thinking about. I can't remember.
Or you'd be in trouble if you said it on camera.
No, I don't think so.
If you could build your perfect telemark ski racer, skiing, skating, jump, loom, physicality, mentality, who would you could take different things from different people.
Oh wow. I think if we start at the end of a race, impossible to say anyone else than Trim for the skating part. And when you go to the loom, like some of the French guys, they have an energy and maybe a lack of thinking about consequences that can play out really well in the loom.
They're crazy, yeah.
Yes, I think I love to watch Nico ski in the GS and Lea for sure. I would love to have that kind of flexibility in my 32-year-old body. That's not happening. That's the fun thing about Telemark. There are so many different styles and ways of skiing, and a lot of them are really efficient in different ways. So if I would like to apply some qualities from other races on me, I would like to have a bit more guts. When I ski, sometimes I think I could ski faster if I pushed myself a little bit harder. But with the years, with age, sometimes I hold back a little bit, so I don't want to fuck myself up. Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
So aside from being pretty much the Swedish Telemark Federation coach, captain, athlete of 15 years, you're also a doctor.
Yes.
You're mad. Like, you must be mad.
Yeah, I recently borrowed a really fancy watch from a friend who can tell like stress levels and heart rate variability and body battery and stuff like that. And I'm really contemplating just giving the watch back to him because my stats are not great. So it's stressful for sure, and I'm sort of at the limit now of what I can handle. I think
of what is humanly possible.
Maybe.
Yes.
But I'm sort of at the breaking point of where the work I put in to do all the things that I want to do doesn't give me enough energy and reward to make it worth it. It's fun when it works out, but it's also very oftentimes I have a feeling that I'm not doing as much or as good of a job in the things that I do because I don't have time to do everything.
Maybe a bit overwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah. You also started, not training, studying, that's the word, to be a doctor during COVID, is that right?
Yeah, just before.
Just before COVID started. That must have been tricky.
Yes and no. So I started studying in 2018. So I took my first 3.5 semesters before like COVID broke out and changed everything about what we could do and not in school. Mm-hmm. If you look at the education part of it, it was definitely very difficult. Luckily, I had time to get to know study mates before COVID. So I had some people we worked well together and studied well together, so we could keep together and help. And it made a lot of the practical studying that we did and in the clinic difficult. Like during one of the worst peak waves of COVID, I was on my infectious disease course. So all we learned about was the weekly recommendations for COVID treatments, and the only patients I got to see during that rotation were patients who were on high flow oxygen masks, deteriorating and dying. So that was tough for sure. But on the other hand, trying to combine studying and skiing, it worked out quite well. I don't want to say, but it made it possible since we were not allowed in the university or at campus or long periods of time not in the hospital either. They made all of our education digital. We had digital classes and we even wrote tests from our own computer with the webcam, like surveillance, which made it possible for me to take those classes from Funäsdalen, where I used to live before studying and where I ski a lot and train a lot. So during COVID I was not able to race at all because it was just not feasible to think about traveling and then going back to the hospital to see sick people or people who are at big risk of serious COVID infection. But it made it possible to keep skiing and training for that winter. I think that helped a lot in maintaining my base level of skiing during those years. Because it was not at all possible to ski and train as much as before, and I couldn't race as much as before, but I'm really happy that in the end I managed to keep it floating during the years in school. And then after graduating, I made sure I had 3 months off to ski, and then I worked one summer, and then I had 5 months off to ski last year when I finally had my World Champs medal. So it's I'm really happy how it worked out.
Yeah, but you say finally had a World Champs medal, but you have actually had, is it 3 World Cup podiums?
I think so, yeah.
3 junior World Championship medals. So you've always been up there. Like, you're one of the top racers as far as anyone's concerned.
I've been in the top 6 so many times. Not as many podiums as I would have hoped.
We should count that stat. How many times?
Yeah, I actually did, but I don't remember now. It's many top 5s and 6. And also actually team parallel World Champ bronze from 2030 with Lisa and Matthias in Spain.
Fun.
Yeah, that was like Matthias and Lisa had a really amazing championship. It was my second World Champs and I did well, but that was like something that year in a spot, like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to reach in my career. And sharing that bronze medal with them was amazing. And that was after that season they both quit. So it's been 12 years from that team medal until my own World Champs over.
Very poignant.
Yeah.
Matthias and Lisa are part of my Telemark Heroes, actually.
Yeah.
Are they part of yours? They must be.
Yes, of course. Without them, I would never have found the joy in the sport to keep going when I was the only racer. When I finished school at age 19, I moved, after 3 months in the military, I moved to Funäsdalen, where they lived and trained. So all three of us lived in the same little ski town, and I remember we had quite an early season start. We had amazing training conditions for like 3 or 4 weeks straight at home, and we had an amazing winter together, traveling all over, racing all over, and we all skied well. I think like that was actually one of my better seasons in many years, probably because we could do a lot of the training together and I didn't have to do a lot of the work that I had to do later. Yeah, so that season really like set the standard for what I wanted or what I wanted to do, and I've sort of been striving to reach that again with the team. So yeah, they definitely, without them, wouldn't have been racing.
You think the energy they gave you in the early years kept you going when it got difficult?
For sure.
Are there any other reasons that, I mean, you must love the sport.
Yes.
You've been in it so long. So like, where do you get energy from, if it's from those guys or elsewhere?
Yeah, so for sure they taught me a lot about the sport, and then that made me find some goals of my own to work towards. But then one important person that for sure also kept me going was Karin, my fiancée, or teammate since, I don't remember now, 5 or 6 years. And when we met and she started the Telemark ski, she had a lot of interest and ambition to get better. She started racing when she was 23 or 4, I think. And to help and coach her, help her to obtain her goals has given me a lot of energy back as well. Because when you've done so many years more or less alone, at least for me, I needed also someone else to, I don't want to say share the burden, but share the joy.
Yeah. No, share the joy.
Yeah. So she helps me a lot with the work that we do in the federation and gives me motivation to get better for myself, but also to help her and the rest of the team to get better.
Yeah, you have some great young guys on the team as well.
Yes.
Very talented, so that's good news for Team Sweden.
Yeah.
Going back to Karin, how did you meet?
We met in Funäsdalen in 2014, which was the place where I moved after school, where I met Lisa and Matthias, and where I stayed after they quit as well. I wanted to keep racing, and I've got to know some people there so I could easily train. Karin was there working as a ski teacher, and this was the season of 2013-2014. She was skiing there, or ski instructing. I worked extra in the ski school, took some telemark lessons for the ski school and also some kids groups. And we met each other there. We skied a little bit together. And then one day on the chairlift, I asked her to have dinner with me.
Oh.
And she couldn't, I mean, she was kind of shy.
Were you scared to ask her as well?
Yes, I was, but I'm happy that I did,
oh,
for sure.
Bet.
We've said afterwards that it was lucky it wasn't on the T-bar, because then she could have jumped off the lift.
But, so did she agree to have dinner with you or not? She did?
She didn't dare to say no.
But then at the dinner, was she shy or was she okay?
Actually, I think I realized that I really liked her already in that dinner, because the hut, or the little mountain house that I was living in, like the kitchen is really tiny, and I was standing there cooking and it was really dark outside, and she actually sneaked up to the window and like rose up and knocked on the window, so I was really scared. Like she dared to play tricks on me already on the first dinner. That was a lot of fun.
That's what won your heart, is that she
part of it.
She made you jump. That's very sweet. She's also an engineer.
Yes.
So she's super clever.
Yes.
You're both like super high achievers in everything, pretty much.
She's much smarter logically than me.
What? She's more logical.
Yes.
Is she?
Yeah, sometimes I think about solutions to, I don't know, anything. And I'm thinking, maybe you should do this, and maybe you should try that. And she's like, no, this is what we need to do. And I'm like, Of course, it is.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's where I was maybe headed. So
She helps you get there quicker.
yes.
Yeah, very
For
good.
sure.
Yeah, you seem like a great
She's
couple.
not an overthinker, as
No,
I am.
she's quite, she seems quite chilled and
Yeah.
clear thinking.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that. What does she represent in your life? What does she mean to you?
Everything.
Oh.
Can I say that? It's she gives me stability when I'm really stressed about everything, when I've had a bad day at work or just too much to do to think straight. I just go to her and I say, I feel so stressed or I'm so anxious about this. And she's like, okay, let's think. Is there something you can do about it now? Probably not. Okay, then let it go. Or can we try this? Can we do this? So she keeps me grounded and calm and gives me a lot of motivation, as I said before, for training and skiing. And just, without her, I couldn't do what I do, for sure.
Yeah, you're a great couple. You really are. What do you like to do for you?
Growing up, I've played a lot of different sports, played football, basketball, and like a lot of outdoor activities. These days, I cross-country ski a lot. That gives me both good training and a lot of relaxation mentally. I used to play a lot of music and listen to a lot of music. The last few years, I haven't really been able to pursue that as much as I would like to. Maybe later I can do more of that again. I actually did play for the first time in a band again. I think last time was maybe 2008 or 2009. This fall, there's a yearly party that the junior doctors arrange for all doctors in the hospital and the region. And they needed someone to play bass in the band. And I was like, I really don't have time. I really don't have energy for this, but I really want to do it. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I bought the cheapest bass that I could find, saying that I used to play more guitar before and piano, but I've always wanted to try and play bass. So I took the chance and it was so much fun. So I'm hoping to pursue that interest more in the future as well. But now I listen to music. I don't have time to play that much. And in the summer, my go-to thing to do is to play golf when I have time. I usually take myself time to do that.
That's nice.
Yeah, and Karin plays as well. So we have a lot of fun together on the golf course. And that's, for me, it's really a mental thing. Like, golf can be really fun. It can be super frustrating. But at least when you're on the golf course, you cannot think about anything else, because then you know you're going to play shit. So it's...
You have to be there.
Yeah, you have to be there, and then it gives time to more let the brain process things, and but not... You don't have to keep everything on, like, really on top of your mind, because you can't do that on the golf course.
Yeah, I had a stint trying to do golf. My grandma lent me her shoes and she said, Jazzy, I can't. I got too angry. I know you can't believe it, but I got too angry. I was like, actually, Grandma, I can believe it. It's making me very angry as well. So as long as you don't get totally as angry as me and my grandma, I think it's okay.
Yeah. It's can be super frustrating.
So annoying.
Yes. That actually, golf was one. So when we moved to Östersund from Gothenburg, where we lived before, I moved a few months earlier than Karin, and I had some friends there from growing up. But the only thing that was like late spring, early summer, didn't have that much to do other than working and playing golf. So that was a really good way for me to get to learn to know some new people in Östersund. And if you have the guts to just book yourself into a tea time with people you don't know, it can be a lot of fun, a really social event as well.
Probably get to know people quite well.
Yeah.
Because you can't hide your emotions on
you
golf.
You can't hide your
golf
emotions,
course.
and then you're forced to spend 4 hours with them. You might as well talk to them.
On a nice walk or a not so nice walk.
Exactly.
What is your ambition for the Swedish national team?
My hope is that when I decide to stop racing or finish my racing career, that we've managed to build a foundation of racers and an interest in the sport and team that can make it more, I don't want to say self-sufficient, but make it work without me being there. I think that's my main hope and goal. I hope that some of the younger racers want to keep racing as long as they feel the joy to do that, and that they have the possibility, and that I've managed to, as I said, lay a strong foundation for how we race, how it works, make it easier for new racers to join the team and not have to do all of the work that I've done to make it happen.
I think that's
if that makes sense.
That's a good hope to have.
Yeah.
Do the Swedish team have any funny travel disasters? Anything that's gone a little wrong over the years?
I don't remember anything going horribly wrong when we've been just the Swedish team. However, traveling with the Norwegian team, I've had some fun experiences. One time, I can't remember the year, but we raced in Medallist. Maybe it was 2016 or 17, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We had a parallel, and we had to fly, because I was traveling with the Norwegian team at the time as the only Swedish racer. We had to take a flight back to Oslo from Geneva. The race was on a Sunday. The race was delayed. A lot of people travel from the Alps or from the resorts back to Geneva on a Sunday. And I remember we left way too late from Medibel. Someone forgot their ski bag, so we had to turn back and fetch that. And then I drove one of the vans way too fast on the on the highway back to Geneva, and there was a lot of traffic. Somehow we were in two vans, I think. We got split up and didn't manage to keep together. And in the end, it was like, all right, we're not going to make this flight. It's not possible to. I mean, it's way too late. In the end, I remember we just drove up to the departure drop-off, like screeching brakes. Some of the Norwegian racers had like SAS silver or bonus cards that they could check in extra bags. Mm-hmm. So it was me and the Norwegian coach, I think driving one van each. We just left all of our bags. Some guys just threw the bags out of the van, brought everything in. We rushed back to the car rental drop-off, basically just parked the car, threw them the keys, ran back to the shuttle bus. Yeah. The racers managed to check in our bags. We ducked the ropes through security and ran straight onto the plane.
Oh wow, you made it?
Yes. That was...
It's impressive.
Really hectic.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is impressive.
I think that's the most stressed I've been
ever.
That's
the worst feeling when you're like, we can't queue. Sorry, excuse me, and you're ducking over the ropes.
I'm not a duck the ropes kind of guy.
No, but sometimes you have to.
I remember there was also a big dent on the van that I had rented. Someone had maybe put a shoe through to the rear door or something. Oh no. I don't remember there being any bad consequences from that.
Okay, last question. What is your dream for your future?
Wow. My dream is the skiing side of things. I want to remain part of the Telemark community in a way where I can do as much as I want and have time to do to keep the momentum going. Privately, I've no idea what type of doctor I want to be yet. We'll see. But what I do know is me and Karin, we want to have a small house, maybe in a bit of a rural area, have maybe a dog or two, kid or two, maybe growing some of our own food on the farm, and living close to the outdoors, being able to ski when you want, trying to maybe find a bit of a more balanced lifestyle than I'm living now.
Yeah, that's a great dream. Yeah. Well, I thank you for your time and for chatting to us.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. A lot of memories.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Olle. What an amazing guy. You can follow him on Instagram as well as the Swedish Telemark team too. We'll include the details in the description. This podcast was produced and edited by Gurlstrom Eriksson, music by Jed Kennison. We are on Spotify and YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at HeelsUpPod. And if you enjoyed the podcast and would like to support, you can buy us a coffee. All links in description.
House, rural area.
Do you want to say that sentence again?
Yes, I think so. Rural. I'm not.
Whenever you're ready. La 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 la.
So